Good evening, dear listeners, and welcome to another tranquil journey through the curious corridors of human history. Tonight, as the world settles into slumber, we'll drift together through tales of humanity's most, let's call them optimistic inventions. These are stories of times when someone whispered into the darkness, "I have an idea," and perhaps the universe should have gently suggested they count sheep instead. But here we are, cozy and warm, ready to explore these monuments to our species' unshakable confidence in the face of overwhelming evidence that maybe, just maybe, a nice cup of tea and an early bedtime would have been the wiser choice. So settle in, close your eyes if you wish, and let's begin our drowsy expedition through history's most wonderfully misguided moments. Throughout history, for every invention that gently improved our lives, approximately 3,000 ideas drifted peacefully into obscurity. And as we'll discover tonight, that's probably for the best, dear listeners. The tender tale of suspended slumber, baby cages. Once upon a time, in the bustling cities of the 1930s, mothers faced a gentle dilemma that many of us can understand. Their little ones, tucked away in warm apartments, yearned for fresh air and sunshine. The solution that emerged was both ingenious and, well, let's say, adventurous. Picture, if you will, wire contraptions extending gracefully from apartment windows, like delicate bird cages, but designed to cradle sleeping babies hundreds of feet above the busy streets below. These baby cages, as they came to be known, hung suspended in the gentle breeze, offering infants a breath of fresh air while their parents went about their daily routines inside. The idea gained popularity in London and New York, where mothers would carefully place their drowsy children into these aerial nurseries, trusting in the engineering of the day and the gentle rocking motion of the wind. One can imagine the peaceful scene, babies napping contentedly while pigeons perched nearby, perhaps wondering at this curious evolution of the human nest. The Eleanor Roosevelt Foundation endorsed these aerial nurseries, believing that fresh air was essential for child development, a reminder that even the most well-intentioned ideas can take unexpectedly elevated forms. The glowing dreams of radium's gentle embrace. Following the discovery of radium in 1898, there was a time when this mysterious, glowing element captured the imagination of inventors and entrepreneurs alike. It was an age of wonder, when the soft green glow of radium seemed to promise vitality and health to all who encountered it. Picture yourself in those days, wandering through a pharmacy where shelves held bottles of radium-infused drinking water, promising to invigorate your very essence with each gentle sip. There were radium face creams, designed to give ladies a luminous complexion that would literally glow with health. Chocolates were crafted with radium, creating sweet treats that sparkled with an otherworldly light. Even toothpastes were blessed with this glowing powder, promising teeth that would shine like stars in the darkness. The crowning achievement was the radium watch, painted by dedicated artisans known as the Radium Girls, who would carefully shape their brushes with their lips to create the finest lines, unknowingly consuming this mysterious substance with each delicate stroke. Their work created timepieces that glowed softly in the dark, like tiny moons strapped to one's wrist. When these devoted workers began to feel unwell, the companies gently suggested it must be some other cause, surely not their beautiful, glowing creation. One devoted enthusiast, Eben Byers, consumed 1,400 bottles of radium water over several years, believing deeply in its healthful properties, a testament to the era's unshakable faith in the power of gentle glowing. The breakfast meditation, Kellogg's path to virtue. In the peaceful sanitariums of Michigan, during the thoughtful Victorian era, there lived a physician named Dr. John Harvey Kellogg who pondered deeply about the connection between food and the human spirit. Dr. Kellogg observed that rich, flavorful foods seemed to excite the senses and stir the emotions in ways that he felt might lead the mind to wander down paths of distraction. His solution was elegantly simple: create the most perfectly bland, utterly excitement-free food imaginable. Through careful experimentation and gentle consideration, he developed what we now know as corn flakes, crispy, golden, and completely devoid of any flavor that might stir the soul or quicken the pulse. His theory was beautifully straightforward. If exciting food led to an excited mind, then surely peaceful, calm food would lead to a peaceful, calm disposition. The good doctor prescribed these humble flakes to guests at his wellness retreat, believing that each spoonful would gently guide them toward a state of perfect tranquility and moral clarity. And so, as you sit with your morning bowl of cereal, you can rest peacefully knowing you're participating in over a century of breakfast-based meditation, consuming what was once considered the ultimate food for achieving inner peace and emotional stillness. Dr. Kellogg was so committed to his philosophy of calm living that he maintained a remarkably peaceful household, adopting all his children and dedicating his life entirely to his wellness practices and breakfast innovations. The gentle smoke of healing, cigarettes for breathing. There was once an era when the gentle art of healing took many curious forms, and among these was the belief that certain breathing difficulties could be soothed by the inhalation of carefully prepared herbal smoke. From the 1800s until the middle of the 20th century, physicians with the kindest intentions would prescribe special cigarettes containing tobacco, stramonium, and other botanical ingredients to those who struggled with asthma and breathing troubles. The logic seemed beautifully simple. If the airways were tight and restricted, perhaps gentle smoke could help them relax and open. Imagine the scene in a doctor's office of that time. Concerned parents bringing their children to seek relief from breathing troubles, and the physician, with a warm smile and genuine desire to help, prescribing these special medicinal cigarettes. Advertisements of the time showed families gathered peacefully, with children puffing gently on their prescribed medicine, while parents looked on with hope and relief. Little Timothy's breathing seems troubled, a mother might say, and the response would come gently. Perhaps it's time for his evening medicine. The faith in this treatment was complete and touching, a reminder of humanity's endless desire to heal and comfort, even when the methods might seem curious to our modern understanding. The FDA didn't require extensive testing of medications until 1962, meaning generations of families trusted these treatments with complete faith in their doctors' gentle wisdom and caring intentions. The cooling dreams that sometimes surprised early refrigeration. Before the gentle hum of modern refrigeration blessed our homes, the early pioneers of food preservation faced quite the engineering puzzle. In those innovative days before Freon was discovered in 1928, the brilliant minds of the time used what seemed like perfectly reasonable cooling agents: ammonia, methyl chloride, and sulfur dioxide. These early refrigerators were marvels of ingenuity, standing proudly in kitchens like loyal guardians of freshness. The only small consideration was that these cooling substances, when they occasionally decided to mingle with the air and encounter a tiny spark, perhaps from the refrigerator's own cheerful motor, could create rather dramatic displays of energy. In 1929 alone, these surprising moments occurred in over 100 homes, creating quite memorable experiences for families across the country. One can imagine the conversation with the insurance adjuster. Yes, our food preservation device has temporarily relocated our kitchen to the neighbor's yard. No, we hadn't expected that feature. Yes, we're still grateful for the fresh milk we managed to save. These early refrigerators remind us of humanity's beautiful willingness to embrace new technology, even when that technology occasionally embraced back a bit more enthusiastically than expected. Albert Einstein, moved by concern for family safety, co-patented a safer refrigerator design, proving that even great minds spent time pondering the gentle art of keeping food fresh without surprising side effects. The porcelain poetry of beauty leads luminous legacy. In the grand courts and elegant homes of centuries past, there lived ladies who sought the most ethereal, otherworldly beauty, a complexion so pale and luminous it seemed to capture moonlight itself. Their secret was a powder made from white lead, applied with the dedication and artistry of true beauty devotees. Queen Elizabeth I herself was among the most devoted practitioners of this art, creating the iconic look that made her appear almost supernatural in her portraits. Ghostly white skin that seemed to glow with inner light, a complexion so perfect it appeared carved from marble. Each morning, these ladies would sit before their mirrors and carefully apply this magical powder, layer upon layer, creating faces of such perfect pallor that they seemed to float like gentle spirits through their daily lives. The dedication was remarkable. They would never wash their faces, preferring to simply add more powder each day, building their beauty like gentle architecture. The powder would mix with the natural oils of their skin, creating a patina that aged like fine art. As their hairlines gradually receded and their teeth took on interesting new colors, they simply incorporated these changes into their evolving aesthetic. When the powder mixed with moisture, it created a subtle fragrance that announced their arrival long before they entered a room, a personal signature scent that was uniquely their own. They were walking works of art, living sculptures dedicated to achieving the most ethereal beauty imaginable. Some historians believe the elaborate wigs popular in King Charles II court were inspired by the unique hair patterns created by lead cosmetics, turning necessity into a fashion statement that lasted for centuries. The gentleman's wellness innovation, the radioindoctrinator. In the refined society of the 1930s, there existed a most exclusive wellness device designed specifically for the discerning gentleman who sought to enhance his natural vitality and vigor. The scrotal radioindoctrinator, priced at $150, a considerable investment equivalent to nearly $3,000 in today's currency, was marketed to men of means who appreciated the finer things in life and weren't afraid to invest in their personal wellness. This ingenious device consisted of a specially designed undergarment lined with radium-infused cloth, creating what its inventor, William J. Bailey, described as a vitalizing experience for the gentleman's most essential organs. Each evening, devoted users would don this remarkable garment before retiring to bed, allowing the gentle radium to work its mysterious magic throughout the peaceful hours of sleep. The theory was elegantly simple. If radium could make watch faces glow in the dark, surely it could illuminate and invigorate the human form as well. Testimonials spoke of increased energy, enhanced confidence, and a general sense of glowing well-being. Mr. Bailey himself was a devoted user of his creation, living as a testament to his invention's effectiveness until his peaceful passing from bladder complications in 1949, quite possibly unrelated to his nightly wellness routine, as correlation doesn't always imply causation. The radioindoctrinator was marketed exclusively to gentlemen of means, proving that throughout history, luxury and innovation have often walked hand in hand, sometimes in very unexpected directions. The traveling doctor's mobile practice, Freeman's journey. In the 1940s, there lived a dedicated physician named Dr. Walter Freeman, who felt deeply moved by the suffering of those struggling with mental anguish and emotional distress. Dr. Freeman developed what he considered a revolutionary approach to psychiatric care, a procedure he called the transorbital method, which could be performed quickly and efficiently in his office, or even while traveling to reach patients who might not otherwise have access to care. With the sincere belief that he was bringing relief to those in need, Dr. Freeman created what he called his Lobotomobile, a specially equipped van that allowed him to travel across the country, visiting communities and providing his services to families desperate for help with their loved ones' mental health struggles. His dedication was remarkable. He would sometimes perform up to 25 procedures in a single day, working tirelessly to reach as many patients as possible. The procedure itself was surprisingly simple. Using an ice pick-like instrument, he would make a small insertion through the eye socket and gently adjust the brain's connections, believing this would bring peace to troubled minds. Families would line up hopefully outside his van, grateful that someone cared enough to travel such distances to help their struggling relatives. Dr. Freeman genuinely believed he was providing a service of compassion, offering hope to those who had found little relief through other means. His mobile practice continued for many years, until changing medical understanding led to different approaches to mental health care. Dr. Freeman performed over 3,500 procedures during his career, traveling thousands of miles in his mobile practice, demonstrating an unprecedented level of commitment to reaching patients across the country. The soothing chair of electrical wellness, the Violetta. At the dawn of the 20th century, Dr. Henry Gratz introduced what he considered the ultimate in luxury wellness equipment. The Violetta, an elegant electric chair designed to provide therapeutic electrical treatments in the comfort of one's own home. This beautiful piece of furniture promised to address a wide range of concerns, from joint stiffness to what Victorian society politely termed nervous conditions in ladies. The Violetta stood proudly in well-appointed parlors, its rich upholstery and brass fittings making it a conversation piece, as well as a wellness device. The treatment was quite straightforward. Patients would settle comfortably into the chair's embrace while gentle electrical currents flowed through their bodies, providing what Dr. Gratz described as invigorating stimulation. The sensations varied from person to person. Some experienced a pleasant tingling, others reported more dramatic responses, including the ability to sense colors in new ways and occasionally emit small sparks when touching metal objects. One satisfied customer wrote eloquently of her experience. "After just 3 sessions, I no longer concern myself with my previous complaints, as I am now much more fascinated by the persistent aroma of electrical activity that seems to follow me everywhere." The Violetta remained a popular choice for discerning households for over 2 decades, with physicians reporting that 95% of users experienced some form of immediate and memorable response to their treatments. The Violetta's 95% customer response rate made it one of the most reliable medical devices of its era, with virtually every user reporting some form of immediate and unforgettable reaction to their treatment. The Riverside Revival Technique, tobacco's gentle assistance. Along the gentle banks of the River Thames in the 1700s, there developed a most dedicated rescue service operated by the Royal Humane Society. When unfortunate souls found themselves overcome by the river's embrace, these devoted rescuers employed what was considered the most advanced revival technique of the time, the tobacco smoke enema. Special bellows were kept at regular intervals along the riverbank, ready to provide this essential service to those in need of revival. The procedure was performed with great ceremony and medical precision. While some rescuers attended to the patient's other needs, a specially trained operator would carefully administer tobacco smoke through the bellows system, believing that the warming, stimulating properties of the smoke would encourage the spark of life to return. The technique gained such respect that it expanded beyond drowning rescue to treat various ailments: gentle headaches, digestive discomfort, and seasonal breathing troubles. Patients would arrive at medical offices specifically requesting this treatment, trusting in the wisdom of their physicians and the time-tested effectiveness of tobacco's healing properties. The dedication of the practitioners was remarkable. Someone had to maintain and clean these specialized bellows, and Riverside operators would work in all weather conditions to provide this essential service. The phrase "blowing smoke" gained a certain medical respectability during this era, as it represented genuine care and professional attention to those in distress. When medical science eventually discovered that nicotine absorption could be problematic, doctors gradually transitioned to other revival methods, marking one of history's graceful evolutions in emergency medical care. The enthusiastic engineer's final creation, the Briggs and Stratton Flyer. Our gentle journey through history's innovations concludes with the story of the Briggs and Stratton Flyer, a creation that embodied the pure, unbridled optimism of 1920s American engineering. The Flyer was the automotive equivalent of a haiku, elegant in its simplicity, profound in its minimalism. Picture, if you will, a wooden plank mounted on wheels, powered by a faithful engine, and guided by nothing more than a length of rope and the driver's good intentions. There was no suspension to complicate the pure connection between driver and road, no conventional steering wheel to interfere with the direct relationship between human and machine. The brake system was refreshingly straightforward, a wooden dowel that the driver would press against the ground, much like our prehistoric ancestors might have slowed their feet when running downhill. The engine, positioned companionably close behind the driver, would occasionally express its enthusiasm through small celebrations of fire and smoke. A.O. Smith, the visionary inventor, was so devoted to his creation that he personally tested each improvement, right up until that memorable day when his Flyer achieved flight at the ambitious speed of 25 miles per hour. The marketing department's slogan captured the essence perfectly. "It's more fun than a motorcycle." And indeed, for those brief, exhilarating moments before physics intervened, the experience was reportedly quite unforgettable. Despite its unconventional design philosophy, over 60,000 Flyers found devoted owners between 1919 and 1925, proving that American enthusiasm for innovation has always been beautifully unstoppable. The marvel of motion pictures, the Kinemacolor dream. As we journey further, let's explore the enchanting world of early cinema, where inventors sought to bring color to the silver screen. In the early 1900s, a process called Kinemacolor was developed, promising to transform black and white films into vibrant, lifelike spectacles. Using a system of rotating red and green filters, Kinemacolor created the illusion of color, captivating audiences and transporting them to new realms of visual delight. The process was met with great enthusiasm, and soon, theaters around the world were advertising their glorious Kinemacolor presentations, drawing crowds eager to experience this marvel of modern technology. However, the system was not without its challenges. The filters could cause flickering and color fringing, and the process required precise calibration to achieve the desired effect. Despite these limitations, Kinemacolor paved the way for future advancements in color cinematography, inspiring a new generation of filmmakers to dream in color. One of the most famous films produced using Kinemacolor was With Our King and Queen Through India, a travelogue documenting the royal tour of King George V and Queen Mary. The film's stunning visuals and exotic locales left audiences in awe, showcasing the potential of color cinema to transport viewers to distant lands and immerse them in new experiences. The automated chef, the mechanical marvel. As we continue our journey, let's turn our attention to the culinary world, where inventors sought to revolutionize the way we prepare and enjoy food. In the late 19th century, a device known as the automated chef was introduced, promising to bring the convenience of modern technology to the kitchen. This mechanical marvel was designed to automate the process of cooking, allowing users to prepare a wide range of dishes with minimal effort. The automated chef featured a series of compartments and mechanisms that could chop, mix, and cook ingredients, all controlled by a system of gears and levers. Users could simply load the ingredients into the appropriate compartments, set the desired cooking time, and let the machine do the rest. The device was met with great enthusiasm, and soon, automated chefs could be found in kitchens around the world, transforming the way people approached cooking and meal preparation. However, the automated chef was not without its challenges. The complex system of gears and levers required regular maintenance and calibration, and the device was prone to malfunctions and breakdowns. Despite these limitations, the automated chef paved the way for future advancements in kitchen technology, inspiring a new generation of inventors to dream of a world where cooking could be as simple as the push of a button. The flying automobile, the dream of the skies. As we near the end of our journey, let's turn our attention to the skies, where inventors sought to bring the dream of flight to the masses. In the early 20th century, a device known as the flying automobile was introduced, promising to combine the convenience of the automobile with the freedom of flight. This mechanical marvel was designed to be both a car and an airplane, allowing users to travel on land and in the air with equal ease. The flying automobile featured a series of wings and propellers that could be deployed when needed, transforming the vehicle from a road-going car into a soaring airplane. The device was met with great enthusiasm, and soon, flying automobiles could be found in garages and hangars around the world, capturing the imagination of adventurers and dreamers alike. However, the flying automobile was not without its challenges. The complex system of wings and propellers required regular maintenance and calibration, and the device was prone to malfunctions and breakdowns. Despite these limitations, the flying automobile paved the way for future advancements in aviation technology, inspiring a new generation of inventors to dream of a world where the skies were within reach of everyone. The miraculous medical tape, the healing touch. In the early 20th century, a remarkable invention emerged from the world of medicine, promising to revolutionize the way we heal and recover from injuries. This invention was known as the miraculous medical tape, a simple yet ingenious device designed to provide support and relief to those suffering from a wide range of ailments. The miraculous medical tape was made from a unique blend of fabrics and adhesives, carefully crafted to create a gentle, breathable, and waterproof barrier that could be applied directly to the skin. The tape was designed to provide targeted support to specific areas of the body, helping to reduce pain, inflammation, and swelling, while also promoting faster healing and recovery. The miraculous medical tape was met with great enthusiasm, and soon it could be found in hospitals, clinics, and homes around the world, transforming the way people approached the healing process. Athletes, in particular, were drawn to the tape, using it to support and protect their bodies during training and competition. The tape's unique blend of fabrics and adhesives allowed it to move and flex with the body, providing a level of comfort and support that was unmatched by traditional bandages and wraps. However, the miraculous medical tape was not without its challenges. The tape's adhesive could sometimes cause irritation or discomfort, and the tape itself could be difficult to remove, especially for those with sensitive skin. Despite these limitations, the miraculous medical tape paved the way for future advancements in medical technology, inspiring a new generation of inventors to dream of a world where healing and recovery could be as simple as the application of a gentle, supportive tape. The enchanted elevator, the journey to the skies. As we continue our journey through history's most optimistic inventions, let's turn our attention to the world of architecture and engineering, where inventors sought to bring the dream of vertical transportation to life. In the late 19th century, a device known as the enchanted elevator was introduced, promising to revolutionize the way we move through buildings and structures. This mechanical marvel was designed to transport people and goods from one floor to another, using a system of cables, pulleys, and counterweights to create a smooth, efficient, and safe journey. The enchanted elevator was met with great enthusiasm, and soon it could be found in buildings and structures around the world, transforming the way people approached vertical transportation. The elevator's unique design and engineering allowed it to move quickly and quietly, providing a level of comfort and convenience that was unmatched by traditional staircases and ramps. The enchanted elevator also paved the way for the development of new architectural styles and designs, inspiring a new generation of architects and engineers to dream of a world where buildings could reach new heights and take on new forms. However, the enchanted elevator was not without its challenges. The elevator's complex system of cables, pulleys, and counterweights required regular maintenance and calibration, and the device was prone to malfunctions and breakdowns. Despite these limitations, the enchanted elevator paved the way for future advancements in vertical transportation technology, inspiring a new generation of inventors to dream of a world where the journey to the skies could be as simple as the push of a button. The automated agriculturalist, the harvest helper. In the early 20th century, a remarkable invention emerged from the world of agriculture, promising to revolutionize the way we plant, cultivate, and harvest our crops. This invention was known as the automated agriculturalist, a mechanical marvel designed to automate the process of farming, allowing users to plant, cultivate, and harvest a wide range of crops with minimal effort. The automated agriculturalist featured a series of compartments and mechanisms that could plant seeds, water crops, and harvest produce, all controlled by a system of gears and levers. Users could simply load the seeds and fertilizer into the appropriate compartments, set the desired planting and harvesting times, and let the machine do the rest. The automated agriculturalist was met with great enthusiasm, and soon it could be found on farms and in fields around the world, transforming the way people approach the process of farming and cultivation. The device's unique design and engineering allowed it to move and flex with the terrain, providing a level of precision and efficiency that was unmatched by traditional farming methods. The automated agriculturalist also paved the way for the development of new agricultural techniques and practices, inspiring a new generation of farmers and inventors to dream of a world where the process of farming could be as simple as the turn of a gear. However, the automated agriculturalist was not without its challenges. The device's complex system of gears and levers required regular maintenance and calibration, and the device was prone to malfunctions and breakdowns. Despite these limitations, the automated agriculturalist paved the way for future advancements in agricultural technology, inspiring a new generation of inventors to dream of a world where the process of farming and cultivation could be as simple as the push of a button. Gentle conclusion and peaceful wrap-up. And so, dear listeners, our peaceful journey through history's most optimistic inventions draws to a gentle close. As we've discovered together in these quiet hours, our species has always possessed a beautiful, unshakable faith in the power of human creativity, even when that creativity leads us down paths that might have been better left unexplored. From baby cages that gave infants a breath of fresh air at remarkable heights, to radium products that made everything glow with mysterious energy, to breakfast cereals designed to promote inner peace, each invention represents humanity's endless desire to improve, to innovate, and to try new things, regardless of whether those things had been thoroughly thought through. These stories remind us that behind every questionable innovation was a human being with genuine hopes, sincere intentions, and an unshakable belief that they were making the world a better place. Dr. Kellogg truly wanted to promote wellness through nutrition. The Radium Girls painted watch faces with pride and craftsmanship. Dr. Freeman traveled the country because he wanted to help families in distress. Even E.O. Smith's wooden automobile represented pure optimism about the future of transportation. Perhaps the real lesson in these gentle tales is not that our ancestors were foolish, but that they were gloriously, courageously willing to try new things. They didn't have the benefit of our modern knowledge, our safety regulations, or our understanding of physics and chemistry. They had only their curiosity, their creativity, and their faith in human ingenuity. So as you drift off to sleep tonight, you might smile to think that somewhere, right now, someone is probably inventing something that future generations will look back on with the same gentle amusement we've shared together. And who knows? Perhaps some of our own most beloved innovations will someday be the subject of someone else's bedtime stories about the curious optimism of the early 21st century. Which of these gentle historical adventures would you have been most curious to experience? The aerial tranquility of the baby cage? The glowing vitality of radium products? The breakfast meditation of Dr. Kellogg's cornflakes? Sweet dreams, dear listeners, and may your own innovations be both wonderfully creative and pleasantly successful. Until we meet again for another peaceful journey through history's fascinating corners, sleep well, dream gently, and remember, every invention starts with someone saying, "I have an idea." And sometimes, just sometimes, those ideas work out exactly as planned. The Secret of the Deserted Alchemist's Lab. Chapter 1. The Village and the Boy. In the heart of a lush valley, nestled between rolling hills and a dense, ancient forest, lay the quiet village of Eldeglen. This village was known for its tranquil lifestyle and the close-knit community that thrived within its borders. Among the villagers was a young boy named Eli, who lived with his grandparents in a cozy cottage at the edge of the forest. Eli was a curious and imaginative child, always eager to explore the world around him. His grandparents often told him stories of ancient magic and forgotten places, fueling his imagination and sense of adventure. One evening, as the sun began to set, casting long, golden shadows across the village, Eli decided to explore the woods behind his home. He had heard tales of hidden treasures and magical places deep within the forest, and tonight he was determined to find one. As Eli ventured deeper into the forest, the trees grew taller and the air became cooler. The canopy above blocked out most of the fading sunlight, casting a dappled shadow on the forest floor. The sounds of the village faded away, replaced by the rustling of leaves and the distant call of a night bird. Eli followed a narrow path that wound through the undergrowth, his heart pounding with excitement and a touch of nervousness. After what felt like hours of walking, Eli stumbled upon an old, ivy-covered stone building. The building was small and seemed to have been forgotten by time. A small, cracked window allowed a sliver of light to escape, and Eli's curiosity was piqued. He approached the building cautiously, his eyes wide with wonder. The building was made of weathered stone, its surface covered in a thick blanket of ivy and moss. The wooden door was slightly ajar, revealing a dark interior. Eli hesitated for a moment, then pushed the door open with a gentle creak. As he stepped inside, his eyes widened in amazement. He found himself in a deserted alchemist's lab. The room was filled with ancient alchemical equipment. Glass vials coated in dust lined the shelves, and mysterious potions and elixirs glowed faintly in the dim light. The air was thick with the scent of old herbs and chemicals, and long shadows danced across the room as the light filtered through the cracked window. Chapter 2: The Mysterious Lab. Eli's heart raced with excitement as he explored the lab. He ran his fingers along the dusty shelves, marveling at the strange symbols etched into the glass vials. The lab was larger than it appeared from the outside, with several rooms branching off from the main chamber. Each room was filled with different alchemical tools and ingredients. In the first room, Eli found shelves lined with jars containing various herbs and plants. Some of the jars were labeled with names he had never heard before, while others contained dried flowers and roots that he recognized from his grandmother's garden. The scent of dried lavender and rosemary filled the air, mingling with the faint metallic tang of old tools. In the second room, Eli discovered a collection of ancient books and scrolls. The books were bound in worn leather, their pages yellowed with age. The scrolls were carefully rolled and tied with silk ribbons, some of which had frayed over time. Eli carefully unrolled one of the scrolls and found it filled with intricate diagrams and symbols, their meanings lost to time. The third room was the most fascinating of all. It was filled with alchemical equipment, glass retorts, ceramic crucibles, and copper stills. The walls were lined with shelves holding rows of glass vials filled with colorful liquids. Some of the vials glowed faintly, casting an eerie light across the room. Eli felt as if he had stepped into a world of magic and mystery. In the center of the room, there was a large wooden table covered in dust. On the table lay an old, leather-bound book. The book was filled with handwritten recipes and strange diagrams. Eli carefully opened the book and began to read. The pages were filled with detailed instructions for creating various potions and elixirs, each one more fascinating than the last. One recipe caught Eli's eye. It was for a potion called Dreamer's Elixir, said to bring peaceful dreams and calm the mind. The recipe was written in a flowing, elegant script, and it listed a series of herbs and ingredients that Eli would need to gather. Chapter 3: The Dreamer's Elixir. Intrigued by the recipe, Eli decided to try making the potion. He carefully read through the instructions, committing each step to memory. The recipe called for a variety of herbs and liquids, many of which were scattered throughout the lab. Eli began his search, carefully gathering each ingredient and placing them on the wooden table. First, he found a jar of dried lavender flowers. The scent was faint but still pleasant, and Eli imagined that it would add a soothing quality to the potion. Next, he located a small bottle of clear liquid labeled Moonlight Essence. The label was faded, but the liquid inside shimmered faintly, catching the light in a mesmerizing dance. Eli continued his search, finding a vial of crushed rose petals, a pinch of powdered silver leaf, and a drop of something called stardust extract. Each ingredient was carefully measured and placed in a small glass vial. As he worked, Eli felt a growing sense of excitement and anticipation. With all the ingredients gathered, Eli began to follow the recipe's instructions. He carefully measured each component, mixing them together in a small glass vial. As he stirred the mixture with a delicate glass rod, it began to glow with a soft, soothing light. The liquid inside the vial shimmered and swirled, changing colors from deep blue to a gentle lavender hue. Eli watched in awe as the potion took on a life of its own. The air around him seemed to hum with energy, and he felt a warmth spreading through his body. He knew that he had created something truly magical. Chapter 4: The Dream Journey. With the potion complete, Eli hesitated for a moment before taking a small sip. The liquid was sweet and warm, with a hint of lavender and something undefinable, a taste of magic. Almost immediately, he felt a wave of drowsiness wash over him. He sat down on a wooden stool and closed his eyes, feeling himself drift into a deep, peaceful sleep. In his dreams, Eli found himself in a magical forest. The trees were tall and ancient, their leaves shimmering with an otherworldly glow. The air was filled with the scent of flowers and the distant sound of a gentle stream. As Eli walked through the forest, he noticed that the trees seemed to whisper secrets to each other, their leaves rustling softly in the breeze. As he ventured deeper into the forest, Eli encountered various magical creatures. A family of talking foxes greeted him warmly, inviting him to share a meal of wild berries and honey. A wise old owl perched on a branch above him, offering cryptic advice and riddles. A gentle deer with silver antlers led him through a hidden path, showing him the way to a hidden glade. In the heart of the glade, Eli found a crystal-clear pool of water. The surface of the pool shimmered with reflected starlight, and as Eli gazed into its depths, he saw images of distant lands and forgotten times. The water seemed to call to him, inviting him to dive in and explore its secrets. Eli hesitated for a moment, then dipped his hand into the pool. The water was warm and inviting, and as his fingers touched the surface, he felt a surge of energy. The images in the water became clearer, and Eli found himself transported to a different world, a world of magic and wonder. Chapter 5: The Quest Within the Dream. In this new world, Eli found himself standing at the edge of a vast, enchanted forest. The trees were taller and more majestic than any he had ever seen, their branches reaching high into the sky. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the distant sound of singing birds. As Eli ventured deeper into the forest, he encountered a series of challenges and puzzles. A bridge made of intertwined vines required him to solve a riddle to cross safely. A group of mischievous sprites played tricks on him, leading him on a merry chase through a field of glowing mushrooms. Each challenge tested his wit and courage, and with each success, Eli felt a growing sense of confidence and determination. At the heart of the forest, Eli found a hidden temple. The temple was made of gleaming white stone, its walls adorned with intricate carvings and glowing runes. Inside, Eli discovered a wise and ancient being, a guardian of dreams. The guardian explained that Eli had been chosen to undertake a quest, a journey that would help him understand the true power of dreams and imagination. The guardian gave Eli a series of tasks to complete. He had to find the lost melody of a forgotten songbird, retrieve a golden feather from the wing of a phoenix, and uncover the hidden name of an ancient tree. Each task was more challenging than the last, requiring Eli to use his intelligence, bravery, and kindness to succeed. Chapter 6: The Return and Awakening. After completing his quest, Eli returned to the Guardian, who thanked him for his efforts. The Guardian explained that Eli's journey had helped restore balance to the dream world, ensuring that peaceful dreams would continue to visit those who slept. With a gentle touch, the Guardian woke Eli from his dream. He found himself back in the Alchemist's lab, the potion vial empty, and the room bathed in the soft light of dawn. Eli felt a sense of calm and contentment, knowing that he had experienced something truly magical. As Eli left the lab and made his way back through the forest, he felt a newfound appreciation for the mysteries of the world. He knew that he would always cherish the memory of the deserted Alchemist's lab and the magical potion that had brought him peaceful dreams. Back in his cozy bed at home, Eli closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep, his mind filled with wonderful images of the magical forest and the whispering trees. And so, with a heart full of wonder and a mind at peace, Eli slept soundly, knowing that the world was full of mysteries waiting to be discovered. Chapter 7: The Aftermath and Reflection. The next morning, Eli awoke to the sound of birds singing outside his window. He stretched and yawned, feeling more rested and at peace than he had in a long time. As he dressed and prepared for the day, he couldn't help but reflect on his adventure in the Alchemist's lab and the magical dream world he had visited. Over breakfast, Eli shared his story with his grandparents. They listened with wide eyes and open mouths, amazed by the details of his journey. His grandfather, a man of few words but deep wisdom, nodded thoughtfully and said, "Eli, you have been touched by magic. That is a rare and precious gift." Eli's grandmother, a woman known for her kindness and warmth, smiled gently and added, "Remember, Eli, that the world is full of wonders, both seen and unseen. Your adventure is a reminder that magic and mystery are all around us, if only we take the time to look." With his grandparents' words in his heart, Eli decided to return to the Alchemist's lab. He wanted to explore further, to learn more about the potions and the ancient knowledge contained within its walls. Over the next few weeks, Eli spent many hours in the lab, carefully studying the books and experimenting with the recipes he found. Each new potion he created brought a different dream, each one more magical and wonderful than the last. He encountered talking animals, explored hidden castles, and even flew on the back of a dragon. Each adventure taught him something new about himself and the world around him. As the seasons changed and the days grew shorter, Eli found himself drawn more and more to the lab. He began to document his experiments in a journal, carefully recording each recipe and the dreams that followed. He shared his discoveries with his grandparents, who listened with growing awe and pride. One evening, as Eli sat in the lab, mixing a new potion, he realized that he had found his true calling. He wanted to become an alchemist, to study the mysteries of the world and create potions that could bring joy and wonder to others. With this newfound purpose, Eli began to plan his future, dreaming of the day when he could open his own lab and share his knowledge with others. And so, Eli's adventure in the deserted alchemist's lab became the first chapter in a lifelong journey of discovery and magic. He knew that there were many more mysteries to uncover and dreams to explore, and he looked forward to each new adventure with excitement and wonder.